Critics said it was hot, but everybody who heard it said it was trash. This is essentially what that is. But in this case, even the critics are saying it's trash. The critics and the listeners. This list is trash. Critics said it was hot, but everybody who heard it said it was trash. This is essentially what that is. But in this case, even the critics are saying it's trash. The critics and the listeners. This list is trash. Should I pull up a full-time LeBron jock sniffer and show you his... See, now y'all gonna make me do it to y'all, man. Nobody juggles LeBron's balls more than this dude right here. Nobody. This dude is a full-time ball juggler. Where is his... He deleted a lot of his videos because he's an idiot. He goes on the internet and starts cursing like a crazy person. And then he gets his videos deleted because he's an idiot. Let me show y'all his videos. LeBron fans, look. Look. Where are these magical views that are coming from LeBron? Look. Look. This is a LeBron sniffer. Look at him. Look, we can just keep going. It's LeBron every single day. LeBron, look. Every single second. So where are all these views? Where are all these views that y'all are talking about? Y'all saying, oh, Dreamers Pro's making money because he talk about LeBron. Okay, so where the views at?
Yeah, I gotta be honest, Big Tone. I had to fall back from your boy, man, the locker room, man.
Man, I've been telling you, nigga, you ain't want to listen.
Nah, it's not that I didn't.
That boy is a two-way player, bro. He's the only
two-way player.
He's a two-way player, bro. He's the only nigga that keeps LeBron pitch up no matter what.
Yo, Big Tone, this dude was talking. Like, my thing is, anytime you beat him in a debate, he always got a condescending narrative, like, oh, you guys don't know basketball and all of this shit. So I'm like, all right, well, debate me then. He like, oh, nobody debates. We just fans. Our debates don't matter. And I'm like, so why the fuck you got a show called The Smoke Show? Like, it's just too much of moving the goalposts for me. And it's like, I just did basketball talk. I ain't talk about none of the extra corny shit he was doing, but just basketball talk. When it came down to basketball content, I was whooping his ass. And he got disrespectful. He got disrespectful to somebody on my panel, so I stopped fuck with him. You know how I know it was bad? He came all the way. He came to my Facebook. Like, I never seen nobody go from like sorting somebody out on Facebook from YouTube. Like, bruh, I went to his page. He kept putting my picture. I said, yo, you keep putting my picture up.
Because he like to make my soundbite part of his show. I never seen nothing like this, where somebody that's a different blogger on a different stream takes your soundbite and DJs your shit. Like, he's like a fucking DJ.
I'm too wild for you to own.
I will tell you why the beef started with me and Reggie, right? Reggie fucked one of my niggas' bitches, right? The locker room went to fuck one of my niggas' bitches, right? That's what he fucking did. He fucking disrespected the bitch.
I learned the game from some heavyweights. Catching buses, making changes from another day. I'm a rolling stone.
LeBron fans.
I'm sorry in advance if I let you down.
Critics said it was hot, but everybody who heard it said it was trash. This is essentially what that is. But in this case, even the critics are saying it's trash. The critics and the listeners.
In advance if I let you down.
Oh my God, we are back, folks. We are actually back, man. We are back, folks. Yeah, man. We got to talk about this list though, folks. You know, from I think it's The Ringer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, The Ringer. It's definitely from The Ringer. I think that's Bill Simmons' company or whatever. So yeah, folks, they put out a list, and they have LeBron James, folks, my GOAT.
LeBron fans.
They have my GOAT ranked as the 20th best player, for this upcoming season, which is a little bit, ridiculous, if you ask me. So yeah, that's what I'm here to discuss. Okay, I see we got Big Fan Breezy in the chat. What's going on, man?
Fanhood, there's levels in fanhood. You a fanboy because you don't represent the hood, you represent the player. So don't pretend that representing a player and representing a team is the same thing. So watch your fanboy mouth anytime you vlog on my name. Let's slow it down.
Yo, I always wanted to ask you, man, like, you must have been pretty pissed off when
In fanhood, there's levels in fanhood. You a fanboy because you don't represent the hood, you represent the player. So don't pretend that representing a player and representing a team is the same thing. So watch your fanboy mouth anytime you vlog on my name. Let's slow it down.
that nigga said, watch your fanboy mouth anytime you vlog on my name. Oh, yo, I had you tight that day. I ain't gonna lie, Breeze. I had you tight that day, man. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Yeah, shout out to all my niggas in New York City, man. That's crazy. Oh my god. Listen, I had this nigga so mad at me that day. That shit was funny, man. But yeah, shout out to Thompson, shout out to Capo, shout out I Hate Y'all, Always Betrayed. We got the Yeti, we got Skinnier. What up, dude? We got Constellar. What's going on, man? You said the haters keep the bills paid. You said, how is AR making more than Bron? He had no choice but to leave. We got Samoa Dragon. You said, finally, Reggie, don't go away that long again. We got Show Enough Sports. Hit them likes. Exactly. You said, where you been, though? YouTube's been boring as fuck. LOL. Yeah, man. You know, I was on a vacation, man. I was on a little bit of a vacation. Yeah, shout out to, once again, I'm a little bit confused as to this username. Always saw, I don't know. But shout out to you for tuning in.
You a freaky frog.
Yeah. Now, I was out this weekend, folks. That's why, we didn't do any shows this weekend, man. I was outside, and yeah, I told you guys, it was gonna be, a Diddy weekend for me. And that's what it was, right? I told you guys, don't look for me. I'm gonna be partaking in Freaky Frog activities. And, that's exactly what I did, right? If you guys follow me on Instagram, I mean, I posted a little snippet of what, took place. But just know, it got a little bit wild, for me this weekend. Got into a lot of things this weekend, but, yeah, that's over with now. And yeah, man, we are back. I'm gonna be honest. I really don't like vacations, man. I really don't. I like working, so I'm glad to be back, folks. But yeah, man, let's get into this. I literally saw this on Twitter. I saw this on Twitter. So I guess The Ringer, which is, I guess, owned by Bill Simmons, they came out with a list. Let me show you guys. They came out with a list where they ranked LeBron James as the 20th best player in the NBA, right? So number 1, they have SGA. Number 2, they have Wemby. Number 3, the Joker. Number 4, Luka Duker, right? Luka Duker came in at number 4, folks. Now, this is what prompted this show, okay? This is what prompted this show. I wasn't even going to do a show on this right now. But when I saw Luka Duker come in at number 4, and then, I kept scrolling, I'm seeing players like Donovan Mitchell. better than LeBron James? Okay. Karl Anthony Towns, better than LeBron James? I kept scrolling. I saw Devin Booker. Devin Booker. What has Devin Booker, what has he done? I mean, we saw Devin Booker on the same team with LeBron James 2 years ago. Team USA. Devin Booker was basically a role player for that team. He even said it. He even volunteered and say he'll play a role. My GOAT wasn't no role player on Team USA. He won the fucking MVP. He wasn't a role player. So how is Devin Booker ranked ahead of LeBron James? How is Jamal Murray, who just made his first All-Star team last year, how is he ranked above LeBron James? Exactly. Jamal fucking Murray. Exactly. Shout out to CPA Joe. Folks, once again, more goy slop from NBA media. More goy slop. More garbage content. More bullshit, more trash. What are we even talking about these days, man? You know, it's funny, right? We're in the dog days of summer. And, I've been telling, this has been like a bad month for me. I'm not going to lie. This has been like one of my worst months, probably of the year. I just have not really been producing as much content. Obviously, season's over. I mean, I could, I guess, start talking baseball. I don't know if any of you guys would be interested in me discussing Shohei Ohtani. Okay. I don't know if you guys would care about that. I don't know if you guys would care about me discussing the Dodgers or something. I don't know. Right? But because we're in the summer, folks, I mean, there's just really not much to discuss. There's no games. There's no narratives right now. There's no storylines. Okay, we're in the dog days of summer, folks. This has been disgusting. So all people are doing at this point, folks, is just dropping goy slop. They're just dropping bullshit. And that's all this list is, folks. It's just more goy slop. I don't see how I can take a list seriously. If you're talking about the best players in the NBA, right? How can I take a list seriously that has Scotty Barnes ahead of LeBron James? Now, exactly, Mr. Player Mate. I like Scotty Barnes. Don't get me wrong. He can play. He's a very good player. Okay? Am I taking him over LeBron James, though? Fuck no. I'm not taking Scotty Barnes over LeBron James. All right? Tyrese Maxey. He's a good player. He puts up decent stats in the regular season. What has he done, though? To where he would be ranked over. You want to know what my problem is, folks, with these rankings? This is my problem with rankings, right? How can you rank a player over a player like LeBron when said player hasn't accomplished what LeBron has accomplished? He said you can try the NFL. Okay, cool. Well, guess what? Shedeur Sanders, he didn't even make, he's not even going to be QB1 to start the season. So we can't discuss Shaduki anymore because he's not going to be relevant. He's a backup again. But yeah, you're right. I could, and I very well will start discussing some NFL here pretty soon. Because we still got at least, 2 months before the NBA season? Yeah, we got 2 months before we get any basketball. So I'm going to have to start talking football at this point. Because I can't keep discussing this goy slop. I can't keep doing this, chat. I told y'all, this has been one of my worst months, man. Like, there's just nothing out here to talk about. And then, like I said, when I create things to talk about, niggas will say, oh, why are you talking about Luka Duker and Aston? Because I want to. You said Shiduki fooled us, he's trash. Yeah, man. It's hard playing quarterback in the NFL, man. It's hard. You know. Everybody was rooting for Shiduki because he's black, and you know, everybody wanted him to succeed. But at the end of the day, you know, they're paying Deshaun Watson $50 million. So, you know, they're not going to start Shiduki over Deshaun Watson. So Shiduki's going to have to sit on the bench for maybe another year or two before he actually gets a real opportunity. But like I said, let's get back to this list, though. Once again, SGA being ranked ahead of LeBron. You know, for this upcoming season, I can't really go there. I can't really go there with SGA. Good player, but you know, once again, he's got a really, really good team around him. Really, really good team around him, man. And I believe if you put him in a situation where he doesn't have the same talent, I don't think he would be doing what he's doing now. He's a benefactor, a beneficiary of playing with really, really good teammates in a really good organization. You got a good GM in Sam Presti. You got a good head coach. You got a good supporting cast. Does that automatically make you better than LeBron? No. Not to me, it doesn't. So, you know, SGA being number one, I don't even agree with that, but whatever. You know, Wemby being number two, you know, once again, you know, Wemby's another guy who has an incredible supporting cast around him. Really, really good, you know, organization, really, really good system. Right? You know, to me, if we're talking about like just the pure best players, you know, I would say obviously LeBron should be at the top of the list. Then you should go probably Steph Curry. They got Steph Curry at number 10. Steph Curry should be higher. You know, with all due respect, Jalen Brunson is not better than Steph Curry. Anthony Edwards is not better than Steph Curry. Right? Steph Curry should be higher. He should be higher than Luka Duker. What has Luka Duker done? You said Luka has no LeBron or Kyrie. He will be totally exposed. You said knock it off. LeBron is trash. He just got swept again in the playoffs. Once again, this is how stupid NBA fans are. You know what we haven't done, chat? We haven't whipped out the NBA fan chart in a while. Let me whip out the NBA fan chart. Now, if you guys are new here, okay, there are 5 different archetypes of NBA fans. You have trolls, you have goofies, you have clowns, you have fanboys, and then you have casuals, okay? Now, the goofies, okay? You know, what's a goofy? A goofy is a person that has played basketball as a hobby, but pretends to be an expert on the game when in reality, they've Googled everything they know about the sport. All right? So what you have on the internet in 2026, folks, you have a lot of goofies out here. Right? You have guys that, you know, maybe they've played at your local LA Fitness. Maybe they've played outside or whatever. You know, they go on the internet, they consume NBA content, and then they start thinking that they understand basketball. When in reality, they're fucking goofies. And the only knowledge of the game that they know, they acquired through basketballreference.com. Right? So when niggas like you come in the chat and you leave a comment and you say LeBron has been swept as if basketball is a one-on-one sport, that lets me know I can't really take you seriously. And I won't be taking you seriously moving forward. Now, your name is Victor Martin. So I'm going to assume you're Mexican. All right? And I've already let it be known, with all due respect. Well, it is Taco Tuesday, actually. So the Mexicans are welcome today. But I've already let it be known, I don't take Mexicans' opinions on basketball seriously. Okay, Victor Martin? No disrespect. Now, like I said, it is Taco Tuesday. You know, if you come with those, you know, asada tacos, you know, the taco de pollo, whatever, right? You come with the Modelo, okay, cool, fuck it. We'll let you come with some big booty Latinas, cool, fuck it. We'll let you hang out, you know. But like I said, when it comes to basketball discourse, I just think you guys should probably just stand down, because a lot of this shit doesn't make sense. A lot of this shit just doesn't make sense. The stuff that y'all be saying. You said Martin is a nigga name. Martinez is Mexican. His name's Victor, dude. Victor Martin. He's a Mexican. And listen, that's fine. It's no disrespect. But once again, you said LeBron is trash. He just got swept again in the playoffs. No, LeBron's team was trash. Did you see Aston? Game 1, he had the worst Laker playoff game in 40 years. Did you guys see that? That's how trash he was. For the whole series, he was getting outplayed by a second-year bench player named A.J. Mitchell. You know, Luke Kennard was a shell of himself. Marcus Smart couldn't do anything right. Rui wasn't really doing shit for real. Yeah, he made some shots, but he never could make them when we really needed him. You know, when it was time to win the game, we could never rely on Rui to step up and win us a game. He'll make some shots every, you know, quarter or whatever, but he ain't gonna step up and win you a game. Aston, what happened? Same thing. He had an opportunity to win the game in game 4. He choked. He bricked a 3 at the end. He had a wide open 3 and bricked it. And you expect LeBron James to go win with that? Meanwhile, SGA got fucking Lou Dort, Hartenstein, Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, AJ Mitchell. He got all this talent up and down his bench. But you want LeBron to go win a playoff series with Aston Reeves. And then when he doesn't do it, you say he's old and he's washed and he sucks. No, you're just literally retarded. And you don't understand basketball. And you should probably shut the fuck up. You say these clowns still don't want to admit that Jalen Brunson is better than Luke or Duker? Jalen Brown owns Luke too. What a clown ass list. Exactly. I mean, I told y'all, bro. All NBA media is goy slop. All these dudes are trash. I don't even like reacting and talking about half this shit anymore. In all honesty, I really don't. You niggas are just committed to disrespecting LeBron James. You're committed to the plot. You're committed to the plot at this point. And then when I get up on the show and I got to sit up here and push back on this ridiculous stupidity that y'all be sitting here putting out, you know, niggas got the audacity to be like, oh, you're a bronze-sexual. How am I a bronze-sexual? Like, what are we talking about? A bronze-sexual? No, he's just simply the greatest basketball player we've ever seen. You said, Rez, did you notice Jaylen Brown was 5th or 6th last year in MVP and they don't even got him top 10? Once again, Jaylen Brown he along with LeBron are two of the most disrespected players in the sport. How did Jaylen Brown get traded before Jason Tatum? I would have traded Jason Tatum before I traded Jaylen Brown. Why would I want Jason Tatum coming off of an Achilles injury? And Jaylen Brown just led this team to the, 2nd seed in the East? I would have traded Jason Tatum before I traded Jaylen Brown. But once again, when you're black and you're unapologetically black, right? Because, see, this is what they don't like, right? I be on, like, Twitter, right? And I be seeing, all this, like, racist content. There'll be, like, these white dudes, and they'll be on, like, the Monkey app or whatever, and they'll just, like, be talking shit about black people and all this, like, goofy shit, right? What's funny is how that's perfectly fine, though, right? That's perfectly fine. I've already said this on the show before. It's perfectly fine when these people practice racism, That's perfectly fine when they practice white supremacy, right? But when the blacks do it, now all of a sudden it's a problem. So wait, so y'all the only ones that can be racist? So y'all are allowed to not like us, but if I get up on the show and I say, hey, I don't want to watch two white boys playing basketball because they're dog shit and they suck, all of a sudden I'm a racist now. See, they don't like it, man. When we see, they can be like, oh, we don't like niggers. We don't like blacks. But if we say we don't like whites, we don't want to watch these fucking Caucasoids play basketball, then it's a problem. Then it's a problem. No, I don't want to watch two honkies playing basketball. This shit is disgusting to me. Now I'm a racist. Okay. When LeBron hires Rich Paul and Maverick and Randy and gets Bronny a job and we want to keep everything in-house and in within the family, it's a problem. But meanwhile, y'all have built a whole society doing this and nobody's ever said anything when y'all were practicing nepotism. But as soon as the black man start practicing nepotism, you got this tether out in Nigeria talking about LeBron fans.
LeBron fans.
Soon as the black man practicing, black supremacy, here come the tethers, right? Here come the tethers trying to destroy a nigga's legacy. But we never hear y'all speaking up about these white folks, though. Y'all never said shit about no white players. Y'all don't talk shit about the Joker. You don't talk shit about sorry-ass Luka Duker. But you'll sit up here and you'll talk shit about my GOAT every day. And you'll build a platform talking shit about my GOAT. This shit is wicked out here, man. So y'all think y'all the only ones that can be racist? No, man. Fuck you niggas, dude. What the fuck? No, we don't, listen, you don't like us, we don't like y'all. The fuck? What do you think this is? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I don't want to listen to your music. I don't want to eat your fucking, mayonnaise. What do they make, chat? No disrespect, I'm just talking shit. But what do the white folks make? Your fucking, green bean casserole. I don't want to eat that shit. The fuck, like, what are we talking about? Y'all think y'all the only ones that can be racist? I don't listen to no white artists. I don't eat green bean casserole and meatloaf with ketchup. I don't eat that trash. I don't eat that unseasoned chicken y'all be making. I don't eat your potato salad with raisins in it. I don't eat none of that crap. That shit's disgusting. Oh, but it's a okay, my bad. But it's a problem when I say it though. It's a problem now, right? See, they don't, like I said, it's perfectly fine for you people to build a society based on racism. But then when we practice the same racist shit y'all be on, then you want to get an attitude. I'm down with the racism. Fuck it. Fuck it. That's cool. Like I said, I'm cool with it. I've got no issues with it. You don't like niggers? We don't like you fucking Caucasoids either. Like you Mexicans either. Now, like I said, the big booty Latinas, the BBLs, they can stay. All right? I love the BBLs. I love the big booty Latinas. I'm not speaking to you guys. Okay? But for your brothers and your uncles and come on, man. Fuck out of here. You don't like me, I don't like you either, pussy. What the fuck? Fuck your fucking tacos, dude. I don't give a shit. Fuck your fucking tacos, nigga. I don't need to eat no fucking burrito, nigga. The fuck? But like I said, I don't even know how we got there, chat. Why do we always end up on some race on some race? Like, why does this show, why does it always get so vile and disgusting over here? This shit just gets wicked, man. Chat, we gotta clean it up, dude. Seriously. We gotta get some sponsors and stuff, man. We gotta clean we gotta clean this show up, man, honestly. But yeah, man, back to Jaylen Brown, though, and LeBron, man, right? It's like, yeah, bro, when you're unapologetically black, they're just gonna hate on you for no reason, right? Like I said, I mean, it's just wicked out here, like when they're practicing white supremacy, that's perfectly fine. But if we get up here and we like, yo, black power to the people, black supremacy all day and night, now all of a sudden it's a problem. Now next thing you know, the FBI, they're sending in agents to come infiltrate us and destroy everything that we've built. That's all they do. I'm tired of this shit, man. So yeah, Jaylen Brown, he's one of the most disrespected players in the NBA. Kevin Durant, you guys know I don't like Kevin Durant like that, but he should be higher on this list as well. I don't know how you rank Karl Anthony Towns ahead of Kevin Durant, I don't know how you rank Donovan Mitchell ahead of Kevin Durant. I mean, some of these guys don't even have an MVP to their name, Like Anthony Edwards, I like Ant-Man. Don't get me wrong, on the basketball court at least. Off the court, he's a shit human. I mean, this nigga fathering kids and then don't even want to take care of his own kids. I think that's a little bit, diabolical. But on the court, he's good. He's a solid player. What has he done to be ranked number 6 in the NBA? I'm asking a serious question, chat. What has Anthony Edwards done in the NBA? This nigga ain't done shit, man. Okay, cool. He got to a conference finals a couple times. Outside of that, what has he done? Nothing. So how is he number 6? He said it must be a popularity report. How is Anthony Edwards number 6 and he's never... How is he above Giannis? How is he above Kawhi Leonard? Kawhi Leonard's won Finals MVP for 2 franchises. What has Anthony Edwards done? Exactly. The list don't make any sense. Exactly. It don't make any sense. You said Kawhi can't even play half a season. He's 8. Who made this list? Dreamers Pro? You said 20 is too high. Lin Ron is overrated. What? You said he's above Giannis. That's crazy disrespectful. We got League Bremen. What's going on, man? You said Ant didn't even make all team last year. Bron was 6 in MVP 2 years ago. We got Bob the Builder. You said, where's Anthony Davis? That's a good point. Where is Anthony Davis? Yeah, Anthony Davis didn't even make their list. Like I said, having Luka Duker, I mean, Luka Duker's PR is insane. But once again, you know, his PR is just good because he's white, man. Like, you know, this shit is ridiculous, bro. You said LeBron is the 5th best player on his own team? Yeah, let me go ahead and block this dude, man. Actually, you know what? I'll unblock you, dude. You're just a clown. Yeah. Yeah, I'll unblock you. I'll let you get a couple more messages off, and then I'm gonna just block you again. But yeah, you're a fucking clown, man. You said if anyone's overrated, it's Luka. Jael said this list makes sense for the most part. Jael, stop it, dude. This list makes no sense. What are you chatting about? How can the list make sense, Jael, when LeBron comes in at number 20 on the list? What are you chatting about, dude? The list is all fucked up. And we can take LeBron out of it. How do you have Steph Curry at number 10? I like Cade Cunningham. What the fuck has he ever done in the NBA to be ranked ahead of Steph Curry? What has Anthony Edwards ever done in the NBA to be ranked ahead of Steph Curry? Jalen Brunson, okay, cool. You won the championship last year. Nigga, that don't put you ahead of Steph Curry? What has Luka Duker ever done to be ranked ahead of Steph Curry? So, once again, you could take LeBron out the equation. Forget LeBron for a second. Take him out the equation. There's so many flaws in this list. I told you guys, I'm going to come out with my own list. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come out with my own list. You said it's not a Lifetime Achievement Award? Who's talking about Lifetime Achievements? I'm talking right now. I'm not talking about Lifetime Achievement Awards. I'm talking right now. He said Tatum over LeBron. Exactly. You said, how was Cat number 12? Exactly. The list is still messed up. Jael, I'm not talking about Lifetime Achievement Awards, dude. He said, once you come out with your own list, watch they will copy it, the mainstream media. Giles says you're living in the past. Okay. So you're trolling today. Okay. So Giles trolling. Yeah, like I said, chat, if I were to come out with my own list, yeah. Matter of fact, fuck that. Fuck this list, chat. I'm gonna make my own list right here on this spot. Fuck it. Let me go to my notes real quick. Let me go to my notes. Let's see. The locker room. 20 best players in the NBA. Yeah, Jael, give me 1 second, dude. Let me get my list going, man. Let me get my list going. I'm about to publish my own list. But yeah, what do you got, Jael?
I'm saying at this point, right? This list, it does make sense. Like, of course, this is not the list that we all think is proper, but it's the list that the league is trying to push, especially considering now they're trying to kind of usher LeBron off to not be the face of the league. So of course they're not gonna make him top 10. You know, that's all a part of the plan to sully his legacy. But you want to push Edwards and you want to push all these guys that's up there to start making them more of the attraction. So they put this list out to tell everybody that, hey, these are the top guys. These are the guys we want you to pay attention to because these is the guys they trying to make money for in preparation of LeBron leaving. They trying their best not to continue to have LeBron be the face of the league, even though we know that he is. But if they keep giving him this power, then they know that as soon as he retires, the league is done. We already know that, but they can't know. They can't factually believe that. They have to be delusional in themselves to keep their league going to say, once LeBron gone, these are the guys that we can, attach our league to keep it to continue. Now, once LeBron is gone, we know the league is going to take a major hit and they're going to see the likes of people just not tuning in like ever before. But they're trying to stave that off as much as possible by telling us, hey, we got these other dudes up here who are the best players in the league, who are the high flyers or the names that we think are great. So this list makes perfect sense when you're looking at it from that standpoint.
Okay. So yeah, you're clearly trolling. Yeah,
that's a troll.
Yeah, I just think any list that has, I mean, did you even look at the list?
Yeah, I've been looking at a few lists over the last couple of days. Man, I knew you was coming back soon, and I knew this was going to be what we talked about. But I've been looking at a few lists, and the different lists that I'm seeing around from different YouTubers and different sports people is the same sentiment. They're trying their best. Like I watched the power forwards list where LeBron was fifth. I said, how the hell is that? He's fifth amongst power forwards.
Okay.
He's top 5 in the league. How can he be fifth in power forwards?
I'm not
seeing this.
I don't know what list you're talking about. So I'm only talking about this list that the Ringer came out with.
Yeah, I'm saying I've been seeing them push LeBron down in different other. If he's fifth in power forwards, that makes him about 20th in the league. So I'm seeing all these lists move towards the same way, which is what's telling me what I'm saying. They're trying to push LeBron down, like KD, all these guys. They're trying to usher them out, and they're trying to get the new crop to be the headliners.
Okay, and what I'm telling you is that doesn't make any sense. Because
it doesn't make sense.
No. Just listen for a second. Your whole stance is they're trying to usher in a new wave. Okay, that's fine. They do that in plenty of different sectors. They do it in music, entertainment, sports, whatever. But just because you could have an actor. Okay, he might have one good movie. Does that automatically make him better than Denzel? No. Denzel has a catalog. He has a track record of sustained box office success. You can't just come with one movie and be like, oh, well, I'm now all of a sudden better than Denzel. That's my issue with this list. The guys that they have ahead of LeBron or Steph or Kawhi or whoever, these guys haven't done anything. Okay, explain to me, because they got SGA number one. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, explain to me how SGA should be ahead of Steph Curry.
Well, I just explained that to you. See, what you're saying is true in normal circumstances of business. Yes, you have the old guys going out and you have the new guys going in. Of course, that happens all over the place. But we've never seen anything like we're seeing in the NBA where these old guys are so good for so long. Nobody has ever been as good as Steph Curry as long as Steph Curry has been good. Nobody has ever been as good as LeBron James as long as LeBron James has been good.
Can you
Kevin Durant,
explain?
you may
Can
have
you
one, you may
explain?
have one or two.
Can you explain
Well,
how SGA is ranked higher to you than Steph?
he's not to me, but I'm telling you why
You
the
just
list
said
makes sense.
you
That was
agree
your
with the
question.
you said you agree with the list of him being number one. How would he be number one? And how does this make sense of him being ahead of Steph
Well,
Curry?
when I say I agree from the standpoint of this is what the league and what the league is want the
No, no, no,
media
no,
to
no, no,
portray.
no, 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 no. Forget,
Me
forget
personally,
that. Forget all
my
of this.
personal list,
I'm
I
talking. I'm
don't think
talking
he's number one.
basketball. How is SGA ahead of Steph Curry in basketball?
Yeah, my personal list, he's not. I wouldn't put
But you
SGA
just
number one
said
on
you
my
agreed
personal
with the
list.
list.
Yes, I agree with the list of the standpoint of why you talking about it. When you said it doesn't make sense, I agree that it makes sense to put this list out for the NBA, and I agree for the reasons that they made him number one. That's what I'm trying to tell you about LeBron, Steph, and KD. We've never seen the old guard have such a hold still on a league that we see right now. They
You're
have
not
to do
making any
whatever
sense,
they
bro.
can
You're not
to
making
push these
sense.
dudes that they are going to
You're not making
hinge the league
sense.
on for the next 5, 10 years.
You're not making sense.
I'm not making sense. In what league have you seen so many old guys be so good? In football, you got Tom Brady, one dude. In baseball, you may have one or two old dudes that are good, but literally half of the dudes that are still like 15 years and plus are still good. The league is trying to move on from all of these old guys. So they're not going to put Steph in top three. They're not going to put LeBron and KD top three. They're going to put SGA. They're going to put Anthony Edwards. They're going to try to push all these young guys because they need to get control of the league. And they can't have control of the league as long as these old guys are still as popular as they are. So they're doing their best to try to subdue those guys and put the younger guys ahead. I agree with that 100%. And I understand why that they would put this list out.
No,
And I agree
I
with why they would
disagree.
put this
I
list out.
disagree. I disagree. I disagree. I think what's going on is that people have a low level understanding of basketball. That's what I think is going on. So for an example, right? Let's just take Steph Curry and his situation in Golden State, for example. We can even use LeBron's situation out in LA. So because LeBron, got swept, right? People will say, "Oh, he's not that good. He's not as impactful anymore," right? That's what a casual person would say. Me personally, I think people that think like that don't really understand basketball that well, because for you to say that LeBron isn't as impactful because he got swept, but then you're not taking into account his coach, the organization, his teammates. If you're not taking all that into account and into consideration, then in my opinion, you lack a basic understanding of basketball and how this all works. So when I look at Steph Curry, for an example, is Steph Curry in a good situation right now? I would say no. Jimmy Butler has a torn ACL. Klay Thompson is washed. He's now in Miami. Draymond is washed, right? So Steph Curry really don't got no help. That's why his teams can't win. Is it because he's not that good anymore? Or is it because he's just in a bad situation at this point? It's because he's in a bad situation. So because Steph is in a bad situation and SGA is in a good situation, does that make SGA better than Steph? No. SGA is just in a better situation. To me,
See,
I'm not taking. To me, if I were to swap out SGA and Steph, the Thunder would still have the same success.
They would be better. Steph is a better
exactly. They would more than likely be even better with Steph than with SGA. So that's what I'm saying. This list and casual fans, y'all rank players based on the success that the team has. And you can't do that if you're just solely ranking players. If I'm just solely ranking players, me personally, like I said, I got LeBron number 1, I got Steph number 2, and then I will go on from there. The Kawhis, the KDs, the Giannis's, you know, the whoever else, I will go from there. You know, there's no way I'm gonna take Luka Duker over Steph Curry. Forget LeBron. What is Luka Duker? How is he better than Steph? What does he do better than Steph?
See, you're 100% right, but you're arguing against yourself because you are the fan that's going to be there. You're going to give the NBA whatever attention that you're going to give it because you care about the details, you care about the context. But what the NBA wants to capture and where the money is that casual fan of which you speak about. If they get that casual fan interested, whatever the highlight is or whatever they got to do to push whatever narrative they need to, that's what they're going to do because those are the fans and that is the income generated that keeps the league going. So, of course, what you're saying is correct. And I'm also agreeing with you. And I'm saying what you're saying is correct. But we're going back to the original question. How does this list make sense? It makes sense, and they're pushing the narrative that they push, and they're going to say that Luka is better than Steph because that is what they're banking on to continue their league. Steph's not going to be here for another 10 years. Luka may be here for 10 years. Anthony Edwards may be here for 10 years.
But that's not what the list is about. The list isn't the best players for the next 10 years. They're saying who are the best players in the NBA right now?
Yes, they're pushing these guys now. Why would they push them later if they want these guys to be the guys?
But they rank them though.
Why would they push them 5 years down the road?
If you're going to make a list where you're ranking the best players in the NBA right now, you can't have SGA over a Steph. You can't have a Luka over a Steph when they're not better than Steph.
Why are you taking the politics out of it? If this was an all-fan best player in the NBA, a true league, then of course what you're saying is correct. But we know they don't put anything out in the public for consumption for that reason. They're always pushing a narrative. There's always a goal behind it. So this is not the truest best NBA player of the forever list. No, this is the what's going to get us the clicks. What agenda are we trying to push? Who are we trying to push? And how can we get that accomplished? That's what all of these lists that they put out in publication are about. Every single time. You can never take the politics out of it. If you do that, then it's just a fan list. Or you can call it a true list. But anything that gets publicated has a narrative.
I think the people that are making these lists are just like the fans. They're just casuals.
Yes.
If you have SGA over Steph, you're a casual. That's just how I see it. We got Bear from 95. You said, honestly, you got to define whether you're saying who's better at the moment versus who's more accomplished. That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm not talking about who's more accomplished. I'm talking about who's better right now.
Yeah, right now, I think
obviously, hold on, Jael. Your accomplishments obviously play a role in that too. I can't put a guy like Jalen Brunson, who doesn't even have a league MVP, I can't put him over a LeBron James who got 4 league MVPs. I don't care how old LeBron is. I'm taking LeBron right now over Jalen Brunson. I'm taking Steph Curry right now over Jalen Brunson.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Me too. Because think of it, and it's simple. I hate playing the fantasy league game, but it really is as simple as if you replace this player with that player on the team, would they be just as good or would the team have just as much success or better? And in all those situations, yes. If you put LeBron on the Knicks, you put Steph Curry on the Knicks in place of Jalen Brunson, they would do equally as good or better for sure. But the context and all of that is for us, the fans, for us to discuss and for us to do analysis and do all of that. The casual fan, they don't care about none of the context. They care about seeing high numbers, high points, high assists. They want to see highlights. They want to see exciting plays, and they want to be the casual fan, which the NBA is going after, who will continue to carry the league. That's who the NBA cares about because they know we will always be here. Somebody who likes something will always go and get what they like, but they want to entice the other people who may think about liking it or who aren't really sure and who are looking for something. That's who they want to bring in.
Please don't tell me that was you saying the 96 Sonics. This is what you got to realize, Judah. It's very easy to out-debate locker room. It's not very challenging whatsoever. The fact that you let locker room outwit you and out-debate you, it says a lot. We're not talking about a very high-level basketball mind, and you got outwitted by the locker room.
So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm working actually on my list. Why Jael was rambling. And yeah, I got 9. I'm doing a top 10 list right now. Okay, I got 9 players so far. All right, I got LeBron at number 1. I got Steph at number 2. I got the Joker at number 3. I got Kevin Durant at number 4. Kawhi Leonard at number 5. Giannis Antetokounmpo, however the fuck you spell his name, at number 6. I got SGA at number 7. Jaylen Brown at number 8. Jalen Brunson at number 9. And I'm trying to figure out who I'm going with at number 10. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going with at number 10. We could go. Matter of fact, let me look at this list actually. Yeah, let me look at this list. Let me see if I can pull from this list. Who am I gonna put at number 10? You could go. You know, fuck it. I'll go Cade at 10. Yeah, I'll go Cade at 10. You said AD? Yeah, that's true. Matter of fact, no, I'm tripping. I got AD higher. I'm tripping. Yeah, I got AD number 8, actually. Yeah. I'm going to go Anthony Davis at number 8. And then I'm going to go Jaylen Brown at number 9. And then I'm going to go Jalen Brunson. I think this is a solid list. And I can explain my logic and my I'm going to be honest, I don't know what Jael was rambling about. I'm going to be real. You know, he was like, oh, it's about narratives and who they're trying to push, you know, all this shit. I don't know what Jael was talking about, man. I'm being honest. I don't know what Jael was talking about, man. You know, they came out with a list on who are the best players in the NBA. Okay. You know, to me, the best players in the NBA right now, yeah, this is my list, chat. Yeah, that's who I got. Fuck it. You said don't play me. I'll call back and get on you. I mean, like I said, Jael, I don't really, like I said, I really don't. I didn't get your angle. I didn't really understand your angle. You know. Like I said, this isn't a who's going to be the best players in the next 5 years. That's not what this list says. You know, if that's what the list said, then okay. Right? I don't think LeBron will still be here, you know, 5 years from now. It says who's the best players in the NBA currently. That's regardless of age, right? That's regardless of roll the ball out. Who are the best players in the game right now? I'm sorry. Like, Victor Wembanyama, I mean, this dude doesn't have any offensive moves. I mean, did you guys see how they neutralized him in the finals? He doesn't have an offensive... He's not Kevin Durant. You know, he's not a guy that can put the ball on the floor and go get you a bucket. You know? He's not a 7-footer that can put the ball on the floor and go get you a bucket. Like, they neutralized him. We saw it in the finals. He's a good player. But he's got a really, really good team around him. Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper and Autumn... Carter Bryant. You know, who them niggas on that team? Fucking Luke Cornett. I don't know the rest of them fucking niggas. Dylan Harper, whatever the fuck them niggas' name is. Y'all know who they got on that team. They got a really good team around him. That's why they were able to have success. You say Kyrie is on that list? Not for me. Maybe for you, but not for me. F, you mean, what's going on, man?
What's up, Reg? Hey, this list is trash, bro. Cause I don't understand how people that don't even play in the playoffs, cause that's the last time we seen them. That's what they should go off of, what we seen last. But they always try to make it fit their narrative, bro. Like for instance, Aston, where he from, they built a white-only town in Arkansas. I'm in Missouri. It's right up under me. They've been building it since 2023, right? That's where he from, right? Now it then fell apart. The shit ain't working because all of them lazy. So it's falling apart, but they ain't talking about it no more. Bro, they only say stuff that's going to fit their narrative. And for them to put Dookie Boy at 4, it's ridiculous, bro. It's disgusting. And I don't know, but somebody was talking about how upset and mad I sound all the time. I am, bro. Y'all should be too at this trash. If you not upset at the stuff going on, Something wrong with you, not me.
Yeah, here's my list, man. For it took me a little second to make my list, chat, but this is my list, man. This is what I'm going with. 10 best players in the NBA. I'm sorry, a lot of you guys are like, oh, this isn't a lifetime achievement award. Yeah, I understand that, but at the same time too, you're not gonna overtake certain players just because you had one good lucky run.
Yo, what's good?
Yeah, the only thing I would change is Curry. I feel like he just, if you take him and Jaylen Brown and switch, I think Boston wouldn't have been the number 3 or 2 seed, and over here in Golden State, I think the team would have been better. So I really do believe that Brown is better than Curry right now. But like you said, just 1 or 2 years shouldn't matter. So I can dig it. I can dig that. I can dig it.
Yo, DC Rue, is that your phone? Oh no, is that F you mean? Somebody's phone is making. Yo, DC Rue. Yeah, I think that's DC Rue's phone. But yeah, Jao, what do you got, man?
For the most part, I agree with your list, but see what I take into account too. Like last year, a lot of players had down years. It was a lot of injuries, so I take that into account, especially considering Steph Curry. Like when he got the runner's knee, my brother had that, and they were talking about it would be like a 3 to 4 week injury. My brother was down for like 3 months with it, so I knew it was going to be way worse. And when you have that specific injury, it affects him the way that he moves and his shooting because it's all like leg to hip joint things. So Steph Curry, I would definitely keep him up there. He's one of the greatest offensive engines. I see him up there with LeBron. LeBron, of course. Yeah, for the most part, I agree with your list. But like I said, this is the list because we are the fans and we know the context and we know all the details that go into the numbers and why these things are here. But we aren't the people that they're trying to capture with their list. Like I understand what you're saying about their list. It's not the all-time list or the next in the 5 years, but anybody who's owned a business know you always thinking 3 to 5 years ahead. You're not going to start marketing uh, for something that you got coming in the next couple of months the day before. So it makes sense why they made that list. But this list I like better, and I would agree with it because they didn't have AD on the list. Like how? If we talking about when healthy, like they are talking about with all these other players, then we got to put AD on the list. So. And then I disagree with you a little bit about Kyrie too, because when we seen Kyrie last before he got hurt, he's a 50, 40, 90 player. So just because he been hurt, I wouldn't take him off the list.
Yo, Red, you hear me clearly?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Yo, what up? So I'm gonna make this short, sweet, simple. You can't. Okay, when you see a list, if it's top 5, top 10, top 15, top 20, you can't have players on there that been in the NBA for 5, 10, 15 years that doesn't have a finals MVP, that doesn't have a regular season MVP, that doesn't have any accolades over a player that has a lot of accolades or has a championship or 2 championships or an MVP or a defensive player of the year award over someone that has no accolades. This is just my personal preference. This is just for me. I'm not trying to copy nobody's list, or I'm not trying to say one list is better than the other. But Okay, so that top 20 player, that list that's on there that Reg has, that's from someone that has gathered players that average about 20 to 25, 30 points plus a game, that are young, hungry, about, anywhere between 20 to 30 years old. I would say between 20 to 30 that we hear their names. But for me, you cannot have a player on there that hasn't accomplished anything in the NBA that's going to be over KD, LeBron, Curry, Kawhi. I don't care if Kawhi got 15 ACL injuries. It doesn't matter. He won championships. You can't have someone, for example, Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is a great player, but what has he really accomplished in the NBA and the National Basketball Association to say, oh, well, we're going to put him number 4 or number 5? That it just doesn't make sense to me, to be honest.
Yeah, Reg, I want to throw this in there too. My man, Brown, a lot of people giving him a lot of disrespect, bro, because when you can average 28 and lock the other player up on the other side, that gotta account for more. Cause it just seemed like they just doing them dirty, bro. Cause it's a lot of people that they got over him, like.
Bro, I got a question for you. You're talking on the phone right now. What do you think about what I said? Would you put a player that hasn't accomplished anything in the NBA?
No, everything
example,
you said was 100. That's all 100. Everything, I ain't had nothing bad to say. That's 100. You can't just throw people up like Luka. How's Luka number 4? He ain't done nothing.
Hey, listen.
He didn't do nothing
Y'all,
last year.
hey, no disrespect to none of y'all, but y'all make me think that y'all didn't used to watch basketball. What are you guys talking about? You guys don't understand the point that I was initially making. We got Russell Westbrook, James Harden, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, all these guys on and on and on and on and on are 6, 15, 16, 17, 18 years in the league. There've never been guys that old, that long, that are still taking spots on the All-Star team, still taking spots on the All-NBA. So, of course, these younger dudes ain't going to be able to get no accolades because the greats have never been this great this long. This has never happened before. There's never been a guy in his 18th year still taking an All-NBA spot. That's never happened. Never. What are you guys talking about? This has never happened. So these young guys who don't got accolades, they ain't gonna be able to get accolades until these old guys is out the league because they're still good enough to garner those spots, and those young guys are not gonna be able to get those spots.
What old guys are you talking about?
Bro, listen, Steph Curry,
No.
18 years, 19 years in the league.
Don't give me the word salad. What old guys are you talking about?
What? Ain't no word salad. I named all of them. Those are all NBA guys who are 16, 17, 18 years in
only
the
one
league.
of them really giving them the business, bro.
Bro, what are you talking about? Steph Curry is, if he's healthy, he's
Steph
taking an
Curry
All
ain't really
NBA
giving
spot and
nobody
an
no
All Star
business,
spot.
bro. Stop.
Oh, Steph Curry, when he was
Ain't nobody
healthy, he
worried about
averaged
no
28
damn Steph.
last
Ain't
year.
nobody
He
worried
averaged
about no
28
Steph
when he was
Curry.
healthy last year. What are you talking about? He
I'm not
averaged
talking
28,
about
5,
when
and 5 healthy.
we're talking hypotheticals. I'm not talking right
That's not
now. Lace
hypothetical.
them up.
When he
Ain't
was
nobody
on the
scared of
court
him, bro.
last year, he averaged
Ain't
28,
nobody
5,
scared of
and
Golden
5 when he
State,
was on
bro.
the court last year.
Ain't nobody worried about Golden State. Period.
Listen,
They
you're not
trash.
listening. You're not listening. This player is going to take up an all NBA spot. When was the last time before this generation that you had a person in their 18th year like Kawhi, like LeBron, like KD, like all these? These are all NBA spots that young guys ain't going to get because old guys ain't been this good this long to take those spots. So when KD and all these guys were young and the old guys were filtering out, they was able to get those accolades and awards. But now because those guys who were great young and they've been great this whole time, they're not making room for young players to come in here and get awards. The league wants
So
to move
what
off of these
awards
old
did
guys.
AD? What awards did AD and
These
Curry
old
get?
guys are
What awards did
staggering the
AD
league.
and Curry get this year?
You know what? My
Hello?
grandpa always told me, don't argue with no fool. Everybody ain't gonna have the same level of understanding as you,
No,
and if they
I just
don't,
want
it's
to. I
not
just
their
want to
fault
know
or their
what
fault.
awards Curry and KD got this year. That's all I asked.
KD was all NBA. LeBron James all NBA. Steph Curry took up an all-star spot. Damian Lillard, all these guys he coming back. Drew Holiday, he's in his 17th year. He's taking up a spot. All these old guys who are 15 years and plus in the league are still taking up starter spots, are still taking up all-star spots, are still taking up all NBA spots. So that means these young guys cannot get those accolades and those awards. So they won't
They're not
have
putting in
them
the
like
work,
you
bro.
guys
They're
said
not
they
putting in
should
the
have.
work. They're
They
not
won't
putting
be able
in
to,
the work.
They can't get the spots because
bro.
they suck. They're not that
They're
good.
not putting in
No,
the work.
it's not that they suck. We
They
are
so worried about
witnessing the
their
greatest.
bodies.
We are witnessing the greatest generation of talent and longevity that we've ever seen. These guys have not been this good for this long. Look, think about back then: Dominique Wilkins, Clyde Drexler, Charles Barkley. All these guys weren't this good going into 15, 16,
They
17
had
years.
people.
Half those
They
guys
had
didn't even
people.
make it.
Bro,
They
take a
didn't
breath,
even
bro.
make it
They
that
bro, take
long.
a breath,
They
bro.
didn't even make
They
it that
had
long.
people coming in up under them that was just as hungry and worked just as hard. The ones that's up
No.
under the ones
Go look
now
at the
ain't
numbers.
doing it.
No, you talking about sentiment. Go look at the numbers. At the end of these guys' career, they was averaging 7 points a game, 8 points a game. LeBron James just averaged 20. Steph Curry last year when he was on the court had 28. KD just averaged 26. James Harden, who's in his 17th year, just averaged 20 and 9.
So why are we punishing the older players for their longevity and still being great?
We're
I don't
not
understand
punishing
it.
them because they still taking up all NBA spots. They still getting all-star nods, so they're not getting punished. They are being great for this long.
Then
I'm not saying that they don't
more of an
deserve it. They
indictment.
deserve it.
That's more of an indictment. That's more of an indictment on the younger players. Then they should be ashamed of
No.
themselves because why are they losing all-star spots to niggas pushing 40?
Well, the thing
That's
is,
the
the way
question
that the
right
game,
there.
the
That's
way
the
that the
real
game has
question.
changed, the way that the game has changed,
No,
we ain't
answer
gonna
that
never see.
question first. Answer
I'm
that question
answering it.
first.
You be quiet and stop talking and listen. That's why you got two ears and have a deeper understanding and not a quick mouth. Now listen to this. These guys are not being punished. But what I'm saying is the way that the game has changed and what they're asking out of players
You
and what
didn't
the
answer
players
that
are doing
question
on
that
the
he just
floor.
asked. He
Oh
asked
my
you a
God,
direct
damn, bro.
question.
Is you a female? Can you control your emotions, female? Can men talk or do we got females jumping in every second? I
No,
thought
I'm
we know
saying
there's some
he
chicks
asked
in
you
the
a
line.
direct question and you didn't
And
answer
I'm
it.
answering it. And I'm answering it.
Hey,
You,
hey,
you
Jael,
think
I
you can
gotta.
dictate the
So,
way I answer a question? Come on, bro. Stop being a female.
Jael,
So,
I wanna. Hey, could I say something real quick? Cause I'm about to get
for
off real
sure.
quick. So this is what I want. This is what I want to say, and I'm not trying to disrespect no one on the platform or say no one wrong or right or whatever the situation is. This is my take. So I got an example, right? Okay, so Luca was having Luca. Okay, I'm gonna use Luca for an example. Luca is on that list that Reg put out. He was number 4 or 5,
4.
right? On that list. Okay. So last season, he was in the MVP race, right? So that had nothing to do with Steph, KD, or LeBron. Like, he could have won the MVP, right? Like, if he was if he was consistent and taking care of himself, he could have won, regardless of how many older players that were in the league or how many spots that were taken up. He could have won the MVP. He could have been the most valuable player last season. But unfortunately, that didn't happen because of his body. His body gave out on him. He has an issue. He has a history with hamstring issues. So for me, to come up on this platform or any platform and say like, hey, you know what? And I'm not saying that you're wrong, but for me to come up on this platform and say, hey, you know what? These older players are taking up spaces for these younger guys like Luka and Cade and Anthony Edwards. Like, these guys have all the opportunities like LeBron and Curry and Damian Lillard. You know, they got the same opportunities. They go out, they perform, they have a great season, and then they go to the playoffs. And depending on, you know, how well they perform and how well their team performs, that's going to determine if they're going to move forward to the finals or not. That has nothing to do with, for me. Like, you taking up a roster spot because you've been in the league for a long time, and then you got a younger player that is a great player and is a superstar, or I would say a star, and he's taking up a potential spot for, well, LeBron or KD or Steph is taking up. Nah, man, it's, for me, this is how I view it. I view it as, at the end of the day, man, it's either you perform, your body gives you the opportunity to go out there during the season and during the playoffs and execute, or not. Everybody's given the same opportunity. Like me and you, we given the same opportunity
That's
in
not
life, man.
true. Bro,
It's
that's
not
not true
true.
because
Okay.
we see Kawhi,
Okay.
On the list. Kawhi on the list. Reg put Anthony Davis on his list, and their bodies constantly break down. They don't perform, but they still make their way to these lists. So what you saying ain't true. There's plenty of people who get hurt that are still making our list.
Right.
So
Right.
whatever you basing what you're saying on, I understand that that's your opinion, but it can be based on wrong things.
Well, what about this though? Last time I checked, when I'm looking at the list, it looked like LeBron the only one that led his team, directly led his team to a playoff victory. Not a game, a series.
Yeah,
That don't look like
that even
nobody
speaks.
else did that.
That even speaks more to what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is not that just these players are old. We are witnessing. We are so in the early 2000s, in the late 90s, we seen. Well, let me use Kobe for example. So Kobe in the old guard wore number 8. When the new crop of people came into the league, he switched to number 24. That's kind of why I hold Kobe in a different light because he's the only player who's just like my generation. He was around in the analog days, and he was a top performer also in the digital days. So in the early NBA, the way that we liked it growing up, the 90s and all of that, Kobe performed in that. And he also performed in the 2000s NBAs, right? So using Kobe, that longevity of a career, how long Kobe was great, it took up spots from younger people being able to come up and have his spot because his greatness was that long. Now, in Kobe's generation, we only got Kobe and Vince Carter who really lasted that long. So we don't have old dudes who were great sticking around and keeping spots. So now, in the generation we're in, we're witnessing the old dudes who have never been great at this old. It's not that they just stay old, they're old and they're still great. LeBron
So
James is still great.
let me ask you this. Let me
Kevin
ask you
Durant
this
is
real
still
quick.
great.
Let me hold on. Let me ask you this real quick. You remember when them kids beat up Cat Williams? Do that say more about Cat Williams or do that say more about the kids?
Bro, that's totally different. That don't have nothing to
No,
do
I'm
with
saying no, it
nothing.
ain't. It's
And
bro, old and young. Who does it speak more to?
it say
The young
more
people
about the
that's
kid
not
than it say
playing.
about Cat
Hold up, bro.
Williams.
Hold up, bro. Hold up. Does it speak more to the young people that's not putting in the work, or do it speak more to the older people that's still putting in the work? Who does it speak more for?
It speaks more to the young person who is more advanced and stronger and bigger at a younger age than what we were. So even though we grow up to adults, these young niggas is looking like us as young niggas. Young niggas out here 12, 11, 12, 13 years old look like 25-year-olds.
But they ain't doing
What?
nothing. I ain't talking about the way
Yeah,
it look.
Hey,
that's
that's
the
your
direction I'm
analogy. You
trying to
use
say.
that analogy. Don't try to move the
That's
goalposts on the analogy that you
that
used. What?
so that's the direction I'm using. My direction is Luka was averaging some games, he was dropping like 45, 50 points a game last season. And he's younger than LeBron, than Steph, than Kevin Durant. At the end of the day, for me to go on and say, hey, you know what? So
What does
my
that have to
question to
do
you,
with
Giles,
anything?
well, what I'm trying to basically say is, when I'm going back to what I'm saying, you cannot, regardless of the fact, you cannot put someone ahead of someone that has no accolades. So what I'm trying to say with Luka could have won the MVP last year, right? Regardless if LeBron, he's taking up a roster spot. Because you were saying these older men, these older basketball players are taking up roster spots from the younger players, right? From the guys that we
Yeah.
mentioned, right?
So how what I'm saying translates is if LeBron, Steph, KD was not in the league the last 3, 4, 5 years, because they all 3, 4, 5 years past 15 years. 15 years was an anomaly back in the day. Is if they're not taking up all NBA and all star spots, then you have Anthony Edwards and all these other guys who didn't make it. who would make it. Like Damian Lillard, for instance, he's a perfect example. Look how many All Stars he got. He would have way more if it wasn't as many great guys at the point guard position when he was coming up.
But
That's what I'm saying
but
now.
John,
It would be
and I get
more.
that,
These
Jael.
young guys. These young guys would have more accolades if LeBron, Steph, and KD and James Harden, all these guys
So,
were not in the league. They wouldn't be there to take those spots. So we would have
but
more young guys with more accolades.
Jael, an
The league
MVP
recognize
and
that.
a but yeah, Jael. Okay, I understand that. But here's the thing. Basically, you basically saying that if you got peanut butter and bread to eat and you don't got nothing around to eat, you're not gonna eat that bread and that peanut butter. You just gonna starve to death. No, that don't
No,
make no sense, bro.
I'm not
Like
saying that at all. What
no,
I'm
because
saying
see,
is
it's
y'all keep
earned
trying to
though.
make analogies. Y'all keep trying to make analogies to equate what I'm saying, but I'm being very direct. What I'm saying is we are witnessing the greatest era of longevity and skill that we've ever witnessed before. There is no punishment to these old guys. These old guys are still great and they deserve all those spots. But the league recognized that they can't bank their league on them for the next 5, 10 years. So I know we're not saying the next greatest in the 5 years. No, we're not advertising in 5 years what we want to take over. Every business starts their advertisement campaign before the thing actually comes out. Like, what are we talking about here? Are we not
Ja,
regular people who exist in
ja,
regular everyday life? Like,
ja,
we know they're going to push these young guys because they want the young guys to take over
ja,
the league. No, we're not
ja,
punishing these old guys, but there have not been no old guys that have been
ja,
as great as LeBron, as great as Steph Curry, as great as KD for as long as they've done
ja,
it. That is very plain and clear. And there is no
ja,
feelings in that. That is all fact. You can go look at the numbers. James Harden,
Slow
17
Jael,
down,
years,
take a
man.
20
breath,
Slow
and
down,
9.
relax. We hear you,
What are you talking
Jael. We
about?
understand, Jael. We hear you. We
Then,
understand
then
you.
what,
We get what I'm trying to say is this. Let's take LeBron, Steph Curry, and KD out of the equation. Regardless of the fact, those spots are earned. We keep on talking about, you know, longevity and what the NBA, the narrative, and what they want to push. Everything in the NBA is earned. Anthony Edwards could win a ring if he has the right team around him. Am I right or wrong, right? He could win the MVP, the regular season MVP, if he's that good enough during the regular season. I can't sit up here on a chat and sit up here and be like, oh well, it's an anomaly. Well, you know what? They're taking out roster spots. No, I can't say that. Everything is earned, man. Regardless if
bro? You say,
LeBron's in the lead or if he's not in the lead. It doesn't matter. It's earned,
hey,
man. You gotta go out there, bust your ass, do what you gotta do. Like Luca.
none of those,
Luca could have won that.
none of
Luca,
those guys,
Jael.
none of those guys I
Jael,
named
Luca
are
could have
up for
won.
MVP.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not
But
saying what are you talking about? I'm not saying he couldn't have, but what I'm saying is none of those guys are named were up for MVP. I said all NBA, all star. They're taking accolades in the league. MVP is the ultimate accolade. The only person that was close was 2 years ago. LeBron was top six. But these guys are still in the league taking active roster spots. Remember, they used to say, "Dang, they're always trying to push the old guys out of the league for the young guys." That's because the old guys were not producing at this level. That's what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is irrefutable. You've never had so many guys in the league, 15 years plus, who are still starting in the league, not only taking up a roster spot, but these guys, James Harden, Damian Lillard, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, all these guys are still starters in the league who are 15 years plus. Plus, they're not just taking up roster spots. So these guys are not only the greatest of the greatest that we've ever seen in our game, they're lasting damn near 20 years. What? So these young guys are coming up, are still good, but they're competing against the greatest of the great. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, LeBron James. These are the greatest of the great. And they're still great. 17, 18, 19, 20 years in. They're still great. These young guys, we're not saying that the talent is not here. The talent is more widespread. There's more talent, but the concentration of talent. The league is not going to produce stars like LeBron James and Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. Like the previous generation, Kobe Bryant, T-Mac, Vince Carter, it was a lot less of them in this generation. Now, the last concentration of superstar that we having is not, that's not transferring over to the next league. The most popular guys you're going to see are the Anthony Edwards, are the Jason Tatums, are the Wimbys, and these guys don't touch the heights of where Steph Curry was when he was in his prime. They don't touch the heights of young LeBron. They don't touch the heights of second and third year KD. And not only do they not touch those heights, these dudes are still around and they still great. The league will never produce these guys again. So we should enjoy these dudes. I'm happy that they still here, and I'm happy that they still balling out, and I'm happy they can still take these spots. But the league is not, because the league understands the business that has to move on from these guys.
If you mean, I got to get up out of here.
Okay,
I do appreciate the conversation though. Shout out to you, Jael. Shout out to F You Mean. But yeah, I will catch you guys on the next one. So yeah, folks. That's really all I got, man, on this particular topic, folks. Shout out to Bean Cakes in the chat. What's going on?
You a freaky frog.
We're still waiting to see those cakes, man. We're still waiting, Bean Cakes. You can't have a name like Bean Cakes and then you don't got your cakes up there. I'm a little bit disappointed. You haven't showed me those cakes yet. But it is what it is. But yeah, folks, I will catch you guys on the next one.
You a freaky frog.
And yeah, man, that's really all I got on this particular topic. I got to get up out of here, folks. So yeah, I'm out, man.
Critics said it was hot, but everybody who heard it said it was trash. This is essentially what that is. But in this case, even the critics are saying it's trash. The critics and the listeners. This list is trash.
You lucky I'm not single. I would take your girl. That's what would happen. Don't make me come to your live and start throwing super chats at her.